Hey everybody, welcome to the Stock Car Spectacle. I'm Ian Jortson.
I'm Mike Gamble.
And I'm Nick Kinsel.
And we finally got the Gambler back after he was gone from last week. We're glad we got the super sub Dalton Good in, but Mike, it's good to have you back, buddy.
Hey, good to be back, boys. Sorry I had some work stuff that was unavoidable. You guys know I don't like missing if I don't have to. So glad to be back in the saddle with my buddies.
Of course. All right, guys, so we are going to be reviewing the Phoenix weekend from this past weekend. But before we dig into all that, let's go with our diecast of the week. Nick, what'd you bring for us today?
All right, so we are going to Atlanta this weekend, and so I thought I'd pull out Kevin Harvick's 2020 For the Farmers race win car from Atlanta last season. This is the only Kevin Harvick diecast that I have in my collection. I didn't even know I was getting it until I got the confirmation, like, oh, hey, we stole money from your account. You're gonna get this car now. I like it though. It's got. I think why I really got it was because it had the yellow Busch Light cans on there.
Yeah,
and those things are pretty badass. But yeah, this is my only Kevin Harvick diecast known to existence so far. I want to get the Busch Apple one if they still have any left over, but yeah, Atlanta win right here. He was dominant on the mile and a half last year. I look forward to seeing that. I think we're going to see that again this weekend, honestly.
Absolutely. And yeah, one of my favorite paint schemes from last year. I just love the landscape on that paint scheme, and yeah, just such a beautiful car.
And it's for the farmers, so it was a cool little thing that they did. But yeah, I didn't even know I was getting it until it showed up. I was like, oh.
I can't. Little boozy order.
Well,
Nick doesn't do that, Ian. Ever.
Yeah.
I canceled all my. I thought I canceled all my pre-orders from last year. Apparently, this one still snuck its way in there, but still.
So hold on.
Cool.
So you play the car and then you just crack a Busch Latte on the show. Is that what we're doing now?
Yeah, good for sponsors, man.
There you go.
But hey, I will just quickly add that if you are gonna be a diecast collector who's not a Kevin Harvick fan, and you're gonna add some Kevin Harvick cars to your collection, the corn can car definitely top 5 for me. That, the 04 Goodwrench car, his rookie car, the flannel car, and the Busch Apple car for me. Yeah, if I'm gonna buy Kevin Harvick diecast, that's where I'm going.
Absolutely. And Nick, come on, you're slacking, bro. I still got some.
Oh, the Grail!
How do you still have those?
I save them.
Ian's got the corn can.
I still got a few of the apples left. Come on.
I was gonna say you probably got the apple cans cryogenically frozen somewhere.
I have an apple can unopened that Mike gave me for my birthday that I'm just gonna keep it because we don't know if it's ever gonna come back out. So I guess I'll keep that in the collection.
There you go.
I remember spending $25 for a 30 rack of that at 7-Eleven. It was
and not even feeling bad about it.
And not even feeling bad about it. Like if I'm gonna spend $30 on beer, it's gonna be the apples.
Oh yeah. Yeah, please bring it back, Busch. That was way too good.
I'll drink it on the show if they bring it back.
Yeah, right. All right, Mikey, what'd you bring for your diecast of the week?
All right, guys, we're going to Atlanta, which unfortunately I don't really have too much of a connection with any of my drivers. So I just decided to go with like one of my favorite paint schemes ever. I usually try to play some kind of theme, but guys, I got nothing this week. So we're just going to go with one of my favorite paint schemes of all time, the Ryan Blaney PPG car. Because I don't think I played this, but maybe once on the show before. And this at least, whoa, all right, there we go. It at least gives me a reason to play that PPG Mustang. They gave this damn sponsor to Keselowski, and I'm still pissed about it.
Yeah, that was Blaney's best paint scheme, and yeah, that sucks that they gave it to the 2 car, but man, that is probably one of my favorite diecasts that you have in your collection.
Oh yeah, thank you, man. Yeah, one of mine too, especially outside of like race wins and special event cars and stuff. Just again, probably one of, if not his best paint schemes, and just a really damn good looking car.
Absolutely.
So, all right, buddy. We know which Kevin Harvick race win are you playing out of this 12 zillion here?
Well, this isn't actually a race win, but this is his 2001 rookie car. This is the same paint scheme where he got his first career Cup Series win at Atlanta Motor Speedway when he beat out Jeff Gordon by that photo finish. One of the most iconic victories in NASCAR history, because we know it was only a few weeks right after Dale Earnhardt died. And obviously everyone knows Kevin Harvick took over that car. So one of my favorite wins. I remember I think I was like 4 years old and I watched that. It's been my driver ever since that race.
So maybe an unpopular opinion, maybe it isn't. I don't really know, but I'll just say this. The white Goodwrench 29 like that is my favorite paint scheme of his ever. I just think it's so clean.
It's in my top 3, but like you said before, his 2004 Goodwrench paint scheme, that is my all-time favorite paint scheme in NASCAR history. That is just so beautiful looking.
Which is a very fair opinion. Yeah, I can't fault you for that one, man.
Absolutely. All right, guys. So now let's get into our Phoenix review. We started off with the Xfinity Series. The Truck Series was off this past weekend. So it started off strong for Austin Cindric. He won stage 1, just continuing that streak that he has of just dominating the Xfinity Series. And then old Niner Noah Gragson, just continuing his bad luck season. Oh, my God. Blows an engine. It seems like something broke when he got onto the dog leg and got back up there. Started having some fluid spew all over the place, and eventually the car just started on fire. Just more luck for that 9 car, man.
I think what happened, when Daniel Hemrick left Junior Motorsports after the 2020 season, he was like, you know what? I got to leave this bad luck somewhere. He's like, oh, hey, Noah, come here, buddy. And he gave it to Noah because, Gragson, oh, man. It's like I'm watching Daniel Hemrick on the racetrack when I watch Noah Gragson on the racetrack.
3 DNFs this year, man.
Hey, man, you're only 5 away from my number last year.
Well, hey, I'll just say this, though, too. Not to say I ever want to see anybody wreck out or anything, especially your boy Ian. But one thing I thought it was neat that actually illustrated, there actually is some risk in running that dog leg. It's not just like a free extra area. Like you're going down there with the risk of bottoming out your car, no idea what you're hitting, could be tearing up your splitter. It really is a risk versus reward thing. That's why they don't do it all the time. On top of once you get up to speed, it probably is a little faster, stay in the banking, but there is some risk to it. I mean, stuff like this does happen.
Absolutely, yeah. And we unfortunately saw it with the 9 of Noah Gragson. Just another unfortunate race. Hopefully he turns that luck around, because I don't want to see Daniel Hemrick season for the 9 car. Sorry, bud.
I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy unless it was Justin Haley. Then I would wish it upon him.
Yeah, there you go. But hey, speaking of Hemdog, man, he looked fast in this race. He went on to win stage 2. That's his second stage win in 2 weeks. Man, he is looking fast in that 18 car.
So I'm already seeing a major difference between the equipment of Joe Gibbs Racing and Junior Motorsports, because that 18 is bad fast. I mean, we'll talk about his little hiccup he had later in this review, but he's doing a good job with getting points. He got stage points in both stages 1 and 2, and he got the playoff point. That's 2 playoff points for him on the year now. So I really couldn't complain. I mean, he's second in points right now. Just finally get a damn checkered flag. That's all I want. Just one. Yeah. I don't really care. But yeah, second in points. He's consistent. He's fast, and I'm liking what I'm seeing so far.
Absolutely. All right, then less than 70 to go. Harrison Burton got loose going through turns 1 and 2. He remained unscathed. And then with 53 to go, we had Santino Ferrucci getting into Josh Berry, giving him a tire rub, giving the 8 car a flat tire, resulting in him crashing into the turn 4 wall. Ended up doing an old Chase Elliott from last year, giving the double finger salute to what is he? Santino Ferrucci. He's a Formula 2 driver, right? IndyCar, okay.
Yeah, he's a pretty decent IndyCar driver too. If you watch him at like the Indy 500, I think I talked about it on the show before. He is one of the more entertaining drivers on the ovals in the IndyCar circuit too.
Yeah, it's nice to see him kind of move into the NASCAR style of racing. I love that when drivers kind of go to different, series of racing. Jimmy Johnson moved over to IndyCar. Seeing Tino Ferrucci's driving in NASCAR now. It's just things that you love to see.
Yeah, and I think he's one where if I think I'm correct, he's actually made some starts in the Xfinity series before too. Because I think I saw he's got like 30 starts now. It's just
Okay.
now he's a little more known of a name from coming from the IndyCar scene and kind of doing pretty well there. So you just kind of recognize it more. But yeah, not the best deal for old Josh Berry there. Kind of feel for you, especially because he's not full time or anything. So
yeah. And he
when
was having a good run. He knows how to drive those short tracks. So just an unfortunate end to his race because I thought he was going to have like a really good, maybe top 5, even top 10 finish.
Yeah, it was definitely there in the cards for him.
We got breaking news here on the podcast that I just saw on Twitter from Adam Stern. NASCAR and teams are continuing to analyze the prospective idea of moving car numbers from the center of the door as soon as next season, per sources.
No.
Please, God, no.
They're looking into where the number would be best placed to help the sponsor value and how many would affect team value.
It doesn't do anything whatsoever. The sponsors already get the entire goddamn car. What does moving this number and giving them door space do? We already got rid of those tiny little contingency sponsors that they have below the Cup Series logo to give more room for these major sponsors. How much more room do they need at this point, man?
Yeah, I just think it's another example of a nonsensical, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, why are we messing with the door numbers? Of all the things that's wrong in NASCAR right now, this is what we're going to work on? Come on.
Exactly.
Yeah, next they'll be focusing on the underglow. Well, thanks for bringing in that breaking news, Nick. Staying on top of it in the Twitter world. I like it.
That's what I do.
All right, and then a little controversy here. Mr. AJ Allmendinger, he just can't keep his nose clean this year. He got into the 19 of Brandon Jones, taking him out into the inside wall there. AJ getting pretty damn comfortable in the Xfinity series right now, if I'd say so.
A little too comfortable. Either AJ Allmendinger looks awesome on the racetrack or he looks lost. I know he hasn't been on this. I know he hasn't been on this track since the configuration. So since they moved the start finish line, but yeah, there's no in between with AJ Allmendinger. It's either he looks like a stud or he needs help. He needs to read. He needs to read the How to Drive the Phoenix Raceway for Dummies or something like that.
Yeah. He's going to Atlanta this weekend. He won there last year, so maybe he'll find his stride again. But you just got to stay out of people, man. Him and Austin Cindric got into it a few weeks ago at the Daytona Road Course, and now he gets into Brandon Jones. Just got to keep your nose clean, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, and then on the final restart, all hell broke loose. We had Daniel Hemrick charging into turn 1, and Jeb Burton goes on the inside of him, taking him and Justin Haley into the wall, resulting in Hemrick having a bad finish. We know he had such a fast race car, and what the hell was Jeb Burton doing, guys? I know he's usually a clean racer. He pretty much keeps his nose clean, and he goes and takes out some of the best drivers in the race.
Well, he's just going for the win there. I mean, it's a late race restart, trying to drive in there and see what happens. And unfortunately, Nick's boy gets collected once again.
Going for the win when he was in 8th place.
Yeah.
No. Mr. Jeff Burton knew exactly what he was doing. It was a boneheaded move on his part. You want to talk about him being on the inside. Hemrick was literally on the line, and Jeff Burton was about to hit pit road entry or something like that. I knew that was going to happen. I had a feeling that the bad luck wasn't going to stay away. But like I said, he's done a great job getting points in stages and getting stage wins. So I'm still second in points. So I guess I got to have to let Jeff Burton off the hook for that one. But if not, we'll see him down the road and we'll give him some payback.
So yeah, somebody needed maybe to let somebody know that there aren't any friends inside a handful of laps left when you're in the top 10. Track like that where they get 3-4 wide, it ain't uncommon to see a couple cars wreck, and next thing you know, you're 8th to 3rd with another restart going. So hard to kind of fault them. Again, sorry about your buddy there, Nick, but really hard for me to like put too much blame on Jeb there too.
There was just no
Yeah.
way he was gonna make that stick. His entry into one there was low. He was gonna slide up the track. Yeah, I would have been fine with it if he hit anybody but the 18 car. But of course,
Oh, so that's what it really
There you
is.
go.
All right,
I
there you
had
go.
to be. I
Just-
had to be the pin that fell. So
Just
it's all good.
tell it like it is. Then next time, I was like, hey man, I'm only mad because it was Hemdog.
Yeah. Other than that, good for you, man. Going for the win in 8th place when you had no shot. I love it. But still sucking in points. All good. But
Yeah, nothing too
Austin,
much to complain about for you.
Austin Cindric has to stop winning races, man.
Yeah, and that goes into our next mark. Austin Cindric, he was able to hold off a hard-charging Ty Gibbs, who pretty much came out of nowhere from all the madness that ensued. Austin Cindric, he was able to get his second win of the season. Ty Gibbs, he gets a second place finish in his second race in the Xfinity Series. Guys, I feel like every time this kid is going to come up and race in this series, he's going to be contending for a win.
Yeah, I mean, proof's in the pudding early. Seems like every time he's in a race car in this Xfinity Series, he's right up in the front. Probably maybe a smidge bit fortunate to finish second, but it's like the opposite of the other situation. I mean, sometimes you put yourself in a good position, things do work out for you. So,
Yeah, definitely. I expect this kid full time in this car next year. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think there's any need for him to go to the Truck Series. He's ready. He wins in his first race, second in his second race. Like, come on.
yeah, what more do we got to see here?
Yeah, he'll be a 20-year-old rookie in the Cup Series. Just watch. Few years. Oh, yeah. Just
Wouldn't be
watch.
surprised, really.
Yeah, honestly, at this point.
Yep. All right, guys. So now let's get into the Cup Series. We had Bad Brad Keselowski leading the field, the green. And what a move by him to start off the race. Went all the way down the dog leg, about a foot away from the inside wall. Oh, my God. I've never seen anyone dip that low into the dog leg.
Well, it's because you can't go any lower.
Yeah.
So any lower than he's high-fiving the hot dog man in the infield.
Yeah, right.
I've tried to do that move on Heat on NASCAR Heat before, and then I would just hit that inside wall and I'd go flying. So
Yeah.
glad that wasn't what Keselowski did, but damn, yeah, what a move! What a move!
Yeah, to start the race off. And then we had a caution on lap 47, and we had Alex Bowman getting spun by Austin Dillon after Ross Chastain checked up in front of him, resulting in the 48 getting a little bit of damage, but he was able to come back at the end of the race. I think he was able to pull off a top 15 finish.
Yeah, 13.
Yeah. Ross kind of had a little rough of a day. It seemed like he was in the middle of a couple of these little fisticuffs, which once again, do you guys expect anything less from the Melon Man? This is something a couple seasons ago when he was still kind of coming up and making his name. I said he's real volatile with this kind of stuff. He'll be up there contending for wins in other series, and now he's in the Cup Series, and he's kind of rattled some feathers getting there. And you saw it again on Sunday. There were a couple times he's in the middle of stuff. It's like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, right. And then we had your boy Ryan Blaney going on to win stage 1. Some precious playoff points for him.
Yeah, definitely needed after the start of the season. Was really rough. Had a really solid weekend last weekend in Vegas. Comes back, win stage 1 here. Car goes away from a little bit, which I'll have more to say on when we get to that point later in the show. But really, really needed stage win there for Blaney.
You see what he did was he took my advice when he was in the Breakfast Club a couple of weeks back, and I was like, "You're gonna lose your job if you don't start doing some shit here." So he learned from his Breakfast Club stay with me a couple of weeks ago.
All right, we can chalk it up to that. That's cool, I guess.
Ryan Blaney looks for inspiration from Kinzel's classroom. So that's
Who does?
He knows he
Yeah.
has to get better. Or he doesn't want to spend more time in the Breakfast Club. It's not a fun place.
Kinzel's classroom, just a national series place for motivation.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's not a fun place. You can either learn it or you're gonna have a tough time. We don't buy the name brand cereals for Kinzel's classroom. We get dollar store brands for our stuff, and they're gonna learn.
Get off-brand kicks. It's already bad enough. All right, so going back into the race, we had a caution on lap 90. Anthony Alfredo getting plowed into the wall by Cody Ware. What the hell was he doing?
Well, drafts for Rick Ware Racing, that should tell you enough.
Yeah, that does tell me enough, but he just sent Alfredo right into the wall, destroying both of their cars. I don't know if he had a tire go down. They never really said what happened, but just sent him right into the wall. And oh my God.
No comment. That's all you can really say about that one.
Yeah, I really can't. I would put him in the Breakfast Club, but Rick Ware Racing already has a permanent seat in there because I fail every goddamn week.
No kidding.
Rick Ware Racing, if we're gonna do a high school reference, is in like 70s high school was the kid that spent way too much time in shop class. It was kind of weird. That's Rick Ware Racing.
I see that. All right, and then Joey Logano went on to win stage 2. And then, guys, we were just talking about it a minute ago. The Melon Man getting all aggressive over the racetrack. We had Melon Man versus Rowdy. Ross Chastain spun out Kyle Busch after heated aggressive racing between the two. Kyle Busch said over the radio after it happened, hey, I was going to take him out anyway, so I'm glad he was the first one to do it. So gives Kyle Busch and Ross Chastain maybe a little bit of a rivalry this year. Who knows? Kyle Busch, he'd probably be running with him the whole season with the way he's racing.
Ooh, but listen, Ross, this ain't the one you want, buddy.
No.
It's just disappointing how poor that Ross Chastain is run. I bet you Kyle Larson's just got to be smiling when he's lapping that 42 car. So disappointing. I thought these first 5 races for that 42 team have been.
Well, driving for Chip Ganassi Racing right now. We know that they don't really have the fastest cars right now. It shows with Kurt Busch right now. So, this year Kurt Busch he's been pretty damn aggressive. So that one car's fast, but that 42 is just way off right now. Honestly, might be the driver, might be the car. Who knows? New guy, new series. So we'll just have to see. We're only 5 races in with Ross Chastain.
Definitely.
All right. And then we had Martin Truex Jr. He was able to hold off the field to get his first ever NASCAR Cup Series victory at Phoenix Raceway, his first one of the season. I believe it was 29 races since he got his last win. That was at Martinsville last season. So Truex starting the year off strong. And guys, we got 5 different winners in 5 different races. Again, the weirdest season continues on with how bad Truex has been doing. I did not see him getting a win, at least this early in the season.
No, me either. And it was a decent little race. I mean, it wasn't the most entertaining Phoenix race I've watched, but it was far from the worst. Just going back to like earlier, I said I was going to touch on the Blaney thing. One of the things that was really disappointing as a fan of the 12 team, he had a fast car early, and it seemed like everybody else made adjustments and got better, and they never really did. If anything, they kind of faded. So once again, something I've kind of talked about going back to last year, I just wonder how much really Todd Gordon and Ryan Blaney gel. So, ended up finishing 10th, which again, top 10 will definitely take at this point after the way the season started. But early in the year, it looked like he had race winning speed. And then we fall all the way to like back half of the top 10, 10th in the top 10, and really not looking like you're competitive enough to compete with the guys in the top 5. So disappointing from that stretch. So almost as disappointing for me watching Martin Truex Jr. win again. So
yeah, I'm right there with you. Kevin Harvick, man, he was just running 6th, 7th, 8th the entire race. It feels like he couldn't move anywhere past that to go up into the top 5. And we know that this is his track. But ever since they've had the reconfiguration here, he's just been way off his marks. We saw it last year in the fall. He wasn't even in competition. I think he was running like 20th or something in the fall. So I don't know. Kevin Harvick, he's just got to get used to this new layout of Phoenix Raceway because, hell, I mean, the guy's got 9 wins here. He should definitely he should have his 10th by now.
Well, you know what, though? That's okay, Ian. We're going another one of his tracks this weekend, so I think he'll be just fine.
Yeah, it's funny when people call Atlanta Harvick's track. He's only got 3 wins there, but he's led the most laps out of anyone in the past like 20 years of racing there.
Yeah, it's like the Noah at Homestead thing where he just
Oh, come on,
kicks
man.
ass
Don't do that to
there.
me.
But you know what I'm saying though. It's
I
a
know.
perfect comparison. He's like he
Yeah.
kicks ass there, dominates the race, and then for whatever godforsaken reason doesn't end up with the checkered flag at the end of
Yeah. But, hey, man, that wound's still fresh.
it.
All right, guys. So that'll about do it for our race review. You guys got anything else to add before we end the show here?
No, it's always fun getting to the ATL next weekend. So I'm looking forward to that. Really looking forward to coming back to Phoenix for the finale much, much later in the season, though. Like I said, I think the racetrack is pretty good in the right conditions.
Absolutely. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for tuning in to the Stock Car Spectacle. Make sure to like our video, subscribe to our channel, and make sure you hit the bell so you get notifications when we upload new content. Make sure to check out our merchandise on spreadshirt.com, all designed by Dalton Good himself. You can get hats, sweatshirts just like these. You can get backpacks, face masks, whatever you need just to support the Stock Car Spectacle. Make sure to tune into our shows this week with Kinzel's Classroom. We're going to have our Atlanta preview and the Gamblers Picks. Make sure to follow me, Nick, and Mike on Twitter, along with the Stock Car Spectacle accounts for weekly updates. And then make sure to check out Kodo's Mojo this week with me, Adam Cornwell, and Patrick Kodo as we give you weekly sports updates. This week, we filled out our brackets for the upcoming March Madness tournament, and we were joined by Stock Car Spectacle's very own Nick Kinzel. So make sure you guys tune into that this week and see who we picked to win the March Madness tournament. That was exciting, Nick.
Yeah, it was fun. I love talking college basketball. I've never done it on a podcast before, so it was definitely cool to hear what everybody had to say.
Yeah, and yeah, we figured you were the perfect guy to come on. I mean, you are Mr. College Basketball, so can't wait, man. Can't wait for this episode to come out.
Yes, sir. I won't be Mr. College Basketball if WVU gets bounced really early. I'll go down there and it wouldn't be fun.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for tuning in to the Stock Car Spectacle. I'm Ian Jortson.
I'm Mike Gamble.
And I'm Nick Kinzel.
Have a great week, everybody, and we'll see you later.